from Quietchina. She asks, I've got a question. If possible, would they ever make a God of War movie or even a Devil May Cry movie? If so, who would you think would be a perfect person to play Dante or Kratos? That is a very interesting question. Number one, both of these movies are currently in development. Yes, Hollywood is currently in the process of getting both of these movies turned into, although Devil May Cry has been in some development for some time now, since there was a Devil May Cry movie that was set to come out in 2005, but that never got off the ground, and pretty much the same thing is going on with God of War. They just need to find some good script writers and directors and producers that would commit. So back to the question, for Devil May Cry, I think this is my opinion. You know, usually whenever when I make like casting polls or whatever, my casting is pretty sick. People for the most part like my casting. So for Devil May Cry, since the first movie would more than likely combine Devil May Cry 3, which was the prequel, and Devil May Cry 1 together, they would tackle a more younger Dante. So for this movie, even though he's pretty much the same age as Dante in the game, but for the most part, the guy I see doing the job would be Milo Ventimiglia from Heroes, who plays Peter Petrelli. He's a pretty good actor, you know, and I've noted there's quite a few anime characters that I think he can pull off, especially after I've seen his performance as Peter Petrelli in the show. His character is pretty in depth with anime influence, and I think facially wise, he pretty much got Dante on there. If you could just picture him with silver hair, you pretty much can agree that he would play a pretty good Dante. As for God of War, which is pretty ironic, because right after she posted this question, this guy, Nintendo Josh 1772, he made a joke about Hollywood would probably cast the guy who played Leonidas from 300 to play Kratos, which is funny, but at the same time, had Gerard Butler not played Leonidas in 300, I think he would have made a good Kratos. However, I hope that's not what they do. You know, once you've been in that genre and played like a war hero, that would be pretty lame if they casted Gerard Butler to play Kratos. So I'm leaning more on the sides of more of yeah, so I can't really come up with a name right now, but my answer to that question is if Gerard Butler did not play Leonidas in 300, he would definitely be a good choice for Kratos in God of War. Alright, my last question for tonight will be coming from XB Says 61. He says, "Hey dude, I got your comment. Is there going to be a new Rocky movie coming out? You know, like Rocky 6 or Rocky 7? What about Rambo?" Well, as far as the Rambo movies go, as far as the Rocky movies go, Rocky is pretty much over there. He's not going to come out with another Rocky. He intended for the 5th Rocky movie to be the last one, but he felt that it didn't end in the way it should have ended, and people didn't get that feeling of it being a finale rather than an unfinished story. So pretty much Rocky Balboa was closure to the series, a much needed closure. It was more like Sylvester Stallone redoing Rocky 5. So in a way, you can look at Rocky Balboa as a redo to Rocky 5. So Rocky's pretty much over. And as for Rambo, although I don't think it will be happening anytime soon, they are actually talking about doing another Rambo. They have some critics that really enjoyed the last Rambo that came out, John Rambo. I really don't know what that movie's called. I didn't see it, but the critics seem to have enjoyed it, and there's been talk of a sequel, but I doubt it's happening anytime soon. Like, it may happen, but I doubt it happening. I really don't want it to happen. I really want Rambo to, like, end, because, like, this is, like, ridiculous. He can't bring back every character from all his previous movies. Next we're going to be seeing a cliffhanger 2, and he's going to be, like, 80 years old. So, I definitely want the last Rambo to be the last one. They definitely don't need to make another Rambo. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this was Ordaned1's Q&A. I'm gonna try to see if I can do another Q&A next week. I'm gonna try to keep the episodes coming to you more fluently than before. I'm sorry about